Today I'm going to show you some tips, some add-ons to this kit that I've put together. If you haven't seen my video of putting this virtual pinball cabinet kit, the video is going to pop right here. Right now you can watch this. I'm going to improve on this kit. I'm going to actually add the basic stuff like the door, a couple of the buttons, adding the monitors. I actually kind of use the standalone solenoids from the Cleveland Software Design. And also I'm going to show you how I added a 12-volt power supply to power up those backlit buttons. Let's check it out.
The hardware, my favorite topic where I spend all my hard-earned money. Here I'm going to bolt my Playfield onto a lift that I'm going to show you. I'm using an M3 screw, and I'm using a sheet like of paper to align the holes, and I'm going to transfer them to a piece of plywood. Once you're all set, you can screw those in the back of your monitor, and you got something secured. Now, I'm using a hinge system. So those are you can find in your hardware superstore. It's actually to mount rods. So I got that, and I've used some clamps to clamp them on a piece of board. And then once I've got it, I can lift the monitor easily, and I'm going to have a little bracket where I'm going to secure it in place. Now you saw I did a little cut to let the lift go over that hinge, and I got a piece of wood to align my monitor to the desired inclination. 9-10 degrees is typically what you get. Now I'm using the backlash mount that's provided with the kit that I've showcased a little while ago. Now it's all secured, and then you just gotta put it in the back and screw it in, and then you're done. Now both TVs are in. I'm gonna plug them in and do a little test. Beautiful color on the picture. That's amazing. All right, now I got a little 15-inch monitor here that I've got in the back. And to secure it, I've used a little piece of wood here that I've just used my table saw to remove some of the material. It makes a perfect, cheap bracket. Zero delay USB boards. I've used those boards many times. It's easy to connect buttons, and they're really cheap. I've ordered 4 brand new legs. Those are expensive, but I got all my stuff, the hardware from Pinball Medics in Ottawa. For people that are in Canada, they ship really fast. This is the corner brackets that I've used to basically secure the legs. That goes on each 4 corners of the inside of the cabinet. Those are the little triangle that will go behind those brackets to prevent them from bending in, basically. So you're adding some strength to your cabinet. I strongly suggest that you use those. Now I'm just gonna bolt them in. Look how shiny that is. I like it. And I'm just gonna give it some extra torque. And that's where those inside triangle comes handy. Otherwise that bracket would kind of bend in. And that's it. All 4 legs are in. I kind of like that now. I don't have to play while I'm on my knees. The little buttons. So this is the launch button, and I've got, see those pins at the back? I used to just clip those, and but for this one, I'm going to do it the proper way. So I'm going to use some paint to kind of mark those pins on the front of the cabinet. Just use a little tiny bit of paint, it's not like that, and just apply on the little pins. Just like that. And just align the launch, and you just press, and then you can see the marks. I'm just going to use my drill bit just to just go in a little bit. I mean, those little plastic holes on the back, they're really short, so, and then you got it. Now I'm going to twist the light. Those are 12-volt lights that I'm going to wire later. Now we can just use the wire from the USB zero delay board, and then we can connect all the wires for the buttons. You can see it's really simple on the board. You just use one of the port and you just push it in and your button is connected. And for the start, it's going to be the same thing as the launch. I'm not going to show you the process. It's identical. The front door, I got Data East door, and I really like it. It's, you know, when stuff is brand new, how can you not like this? Look how shiny that thing is. And you've got the 12-volt lights here. And I'm going to secure them with bolts on all four sides. Voila, we've got our door installed. Nice. All right, those are the standalone solenoids boards from Cleveland Software Design. And I've used them before on my At Games Legend, but I'm going to use them on this Batocera Linux. So got this little 12-volt solenoid here. You can get that for, you know, $15 at your local hardware. This is a 2-amp beat-up power supply that I'm going to use for this project. And just once you pick a location to put this board, you're just gonna screw it in place. This may vary. I've tested solenoids where the power is at different locations, so test it with your power supply first. The ground is attached to the bottom in this case, and the power is on the side here. And that's going to be linked to our little board here. It's well labeled. It says 12-volt solenoids. And the power plus is at the top and the negative is at the bottom. Now we're going to take care of the button. So I'm just, again, using the connector here, putting 2 wires, and I'm going to connect my buttons with the clamped connectors. The side does not matter for this. That's from the zero delay, right? That's the input. It's going to go to the one below the buttons. So same thing. I'm just going to wire that and plug it in. All right, now the last one is the power from the power supply. So I'm going to use my little beat up 12-volt 2 amps, and I'm going to use a power cord, chop the female portion, and I'm going to strip that wire. And it's going to expose 3 wires. And there's a live, the black, there's a neutral, the white, and there's like a ground, which is the green. So I'm going to strip some of that wiring, and I'm going to use a spade connector. And it makes the connection a little stronger. You don't have to, but I highly recommend it. And now we're just going to screw those 3 wires on the back of the power supply. So the black will go on the L for live. The white's going to go on the N for neutral. And the green goes to the one that looks weird. It's just next to it. It's the ground. And we got a positive 12-volt and a negative 12-volt coming out of that power supply. We're just going to use a wire to that little handy connector, and we're going to plug it in. Now we need to connect it to a power source, and time to test it. Sweet. So that's handy because using that on Linux, on the Batocera, there's no duff. So that adds flipper buttons feedback. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to load Batocera here. I got 2 OS on my system. I got the Windows and the Linux. So I'm going to test Back to the Future here. I just got one connected, but I want to test it. Nice, nice. All right, no time to play. Got a lot of more work to do. So that's kind of what's going on behind the scenes. So when I press the button, it sends a signal to the board, and it's all wired with the power supply and the input. So everything works just like if you would normally have a flipper. Okay, now I want to add some lights to those buttons. I already have the 12-volt power supply, so I'm just going to split that power line using those terminals. So one for the positive and then one for the negative. I decided to mount them near the bottom here. I'm going to use this little connector to connect everything here. The ground at the bottom and the power at the top. And I've got those two connectors here, which I'm going to connect on the side of each button. So it sends my 12-volt signal to my button. Hey, there's light. All right, so now each terminal is going to send power. So I'm going to use a little help of this guide for wires. It makes, kind of cable management a bit better, so you can see with the wire now. So the point is I'm using the positive and negative of my 12-volt power supply to feed power to all my lights. So I got, and also the other side of the cabinet, I have the standalone solenoid board and the solenoid. I've wired exactly like the first one. And you can see here, I've actually used a little, again, splitter for the wires that goes to the light of the coin dispenser. Pretty classy.
So that's what I've been busy with in the last couple of weeks. I kind of been tinkering during my spare time. This is going to be my test cabinet where I can change stuff. The way you saw things will change because I'm going to test different things in it, but I love it. A big shout out to Lance from pinballcabinet.com for sending me this kit for a honest review. And I've got to say, if you're looking for a very high quality kit that is CNC cut professionally, is easy to put together, visit pinballcabinet.com. Also, thank you so much, Philip from Cleveland Software Design, for sending me those standalone solenoid kits. Cleveland Software Design has a lot of different virtual pinball components and boards. Visit Cleveland Software Design. It is actually in the US, ships very fast, and he's standing behind his product. Folks, thank you so much for being with me. I'm going to keep tinkering on this. What I love about that, it's Linux, it's standalone, but also I'm going to use this cabinet to show you some Windows stuff too. Don't worry, it's not going to be only the Batocera Linux. There's going to be other purposes to this cabinet. Thank you for being here. I'll see you next time.